He loved learning about cultures. This is the Maasai, and we had a good bit of time with them to actually go into their huts, and they prepared some special meals for us, and he really loved these interfaces. Mostly. This is a soup made of fresh goat blood and tannin from wood and some intestinal parts. And ate it all, but it wasn't good. Now, you know, Derrik knew the dangers of what he was involved with. We were climbing the Western Breach route, and the party immediately in front of us had a bad rockfall accident, and it killed about 15 people. And this is hauling some of the victims off of that mountain. And we're at about 15,000 feet. And I turned to Derrik and I said, Derrik, I've been in mountains before where people have died. Here it is again. You have to know what we're getting involved with. Derrik knew. When Derrik died, we were ready for the call. We knew the possibility when you're rafting, climbing, skiing. Question is, if you know that's a likelihood or possibility, live life to the fullest. Do not waste a day. Derrik's 14 years old. He knew, don't waste a day. Life is precious, very precious. Now this is the next day, okay? See death one day, you know what we do the next day? We have a hell of a good time. We take one of those gurneys, Derrik gets on top of it, we're hauling him up and down the mountain having a good time. You know, it's like when we leave here, life continues, right? Day after, life continues. You got to move on. Derrik knew that. He would want us to move on. And here we are just cutting it up, having a good time. A couple of Australians we met, if I remember, I think they're Aussies, and sharing our camp with us. And these are Derrik's favorite moments, sharing. And the triumph. See his hands? See that before? Now, we had such a good time on this that we wanted to go back, and instead of looking at animals, we wanted to kill some. We wanted to shoot some, kill some, and stuff them, okay? And our first safari was a month in Zambia, and here's some pictures from it. We had just an awesome, awesome time. Derrik took 14 animals with 16 bullets at the age of 16, including this really small eland. Sidatunga, that's actually, sorry, Kfui Lechwe. That's a baobab tree. Lunchtime. Derrik could sleep almost anywhere. Now, Derrik, this is Derrik's favorite part of the safari. It wasn't the shooting, it wasn't the hunting, it was the few interfaces we had with people. Here we are in a village delivering meat. We financed the construction of 5 water wells for the local villagers, and Derrik, this is what Derrik needed to justify going there in the first place. You have to do some good, not just for yourself, but what are you going to do for others? And so whenever we did an adventure anywhere, we made sure we incorporated doing something positive other than fulfilling our own desires, which is more my style, not his. Built school desks, 50 school desks. As you can see, they don't have any. And something most men don't get a chance to do, which is to take a leopard. Team Colorado and Vail. I think Pops mentioned his first hut trip. This is from that first hut trip. He was horrible on skis. Great on a snowboard, not good on skis. You see his skis are completely backwards here. more Mexico. And Derrick's first chance to go deep sea fishing in the Sea of Cortez, catches a nice little Dorado. Northern Canada, Wollaston Lake Lodge, little fish there. Camp on this one just a little bit. This is Team Colorado. Derrik couldn't play. Most every spring, Derrik would play lacrosse, and at the end of the season, his legs had lots of stress fractures in his lower legs. He had no articulation of his ankles, and so when he ran, he couldn't push off, and he had no movement in his ankles. And so it was like pounding a stub into the ground every time he ran. And the question was just how much pain he's in. Not is he in pain, but how much. And very few summers could he play at Team Colorado postseason in the summertime because he's on crutches. So you'll see behind him his crutches, you can see them, and that forlorn look. And that became a forlorn look that we had almost every summer. And it was so painful for him and so painful for us. But you know what? Next lacrosse season, he's out there knowing that by the end of the year, he's going to have another bit of time on crutches. Never slowed him down. I think that's a continuation. Oh, for Shannon. Oh, Derrik. Now, when Derrik had spring break, he didn't go to Mexico with his buddies and have underage drinking because Dad wouldn't allow that, right? So the poor guy had to go with me on an adventure, and so we'd always go out to Utah and go mountain biking. And we had many great adventures mountain biking in Utah. It's in Fruta. Little canyoneering in the San Rafael Swell. I think Ando's here. Is Ando here? No. Now, we mentioned earlier an adventure on Mount Adams. At what point in time do you bring your son into your adult life with your adult friends, especially friends like that? Okay? Not until they're darn ready. And so this is the age when I figured Derrik can handle all of the deviants that I consider friends. And we had a great time on Mount Adams, ski mountaineering up that volcano and skiing down. Now on this trip, we started with 5, and Derrik and I, we had a philosophy. You never don't do something, ever. If you set your mind to it, unless you can't, you do it. And so from the 5, now there's 2. Mount Quandary with Pops. And the price you pay being with Pops. Now Derrik, he liked girls. He liked girls a lot. He always wanted a girlfriend. Sometimes he had one, sometimes he didn't, and he hated not having a girlfriend. And fortunately, he had some nice girls he spent time with, and this is one of them. Now, these are Megan's friends in a big bed, and I'm sure he was just in heaven with all these women around him. Now, this is Megan's wedding, and I think this is, for me, the first time I had insight into what a party animal he's going to be. And I didn't really know that until this day. This is the night before, and he's smoking cigars, and he's drinking with everybody and having a good time. And the thing is, he knew what he was doing. So I think he is already on that path. I just didn't know it. It was his brother. and a groomsman. He was very honored. Now we did enjoy some good elk hunts, and this is a classic here. You'll see the next picture or so. Don was always our buddy, hunting buddy. Now this is a good morning's work. Oh, first morning, and we get all of our animals, and some people say, oh, that's kind of gross, but for us, that's a lot of great eating. Now the football story. Two stories I want to tell you. In which order? I'll tell a football story first. When he was a sophomore and junior, I sat down with Derrik and I said, Derrik, if you play football, you may have a catastrophic injury to yourself, to your legs, and I really think we need to seriously think about not playing football. And we'd cry together, and he would agree not to play football. His senior year, we had the same talk. He said, Dad, I want to play football. I said, Derrik, I think you should play football. I said, you should never go through life, look over your shoulder, and say, I wish I would have played football. Don't ever not do something because you're going to look back on it and say, I wish I would have. So, Derrik played football. And he not only played football, but he did well. I think he made all conference. And you know, the thing is, he had just a tremendous time. He felt he wanted to be part of that camaraderie. He wanted to be a football player. He didn't want to go back and say, I didn't play football because of this. So he played football, and he did very well. And it was an incredible testimony to Derrik that despite everything he was battling, that he played. Now, the music side of Derrik, I don't know this very well, okay? Don knows music. He loves talking music with Don. We never talk music because I don't know anything about music. But music was such a big part of his life. He likes the girls. Graduation. You know, ready to be a man. Now I'm going to tell you a little incident that I call the ganja incident. Well, it was hard for Dad, the ganja incident, very hard. And it's like, you know, that's not something I told you to do, not something I approve of you doing. And it began a 6-month or a year-long process of me recognizing for the first time that Derrik is his own man now. Derrik is not my son. He's his own person. And I can't tell him what he can and can't do. I can't tell him what he should and shouldn't believe in. And what a wonderful thing for everyone to give each other, sons to their fathers, fathers to their sons, is, you know, we can love each other, but we must be different. And he moved on. He moved on past being my son into being his own man. And it kind of started with the ganja incident.